am here from In My Own Thoughts. As you can tell, my vlogging finally has a title to it. I decided on In My Own Thoughts because I think it portrays really well on the direction of where the vlogging is going in. It portrays what it's about really. So I think I decided on that title. And I also have a logo on the actual YouTube page. I put it up as like the background. And even though it is a work in progress, it literally has like the sun on one side and then a little coffee cup on the other, which I think portrays my life perfectly. But yeah, so I'm excited for this. It's finally has a title, and I'm also I know that I haven't posted a video in a little while, and it's because for one thing I was trying to figure out a title, but also trying to figure out what picture, what image, what idea is gonna go with that title. And so that took a little while. I didn't just want to keep going forward without something concrete to the vlogging. And so I know that I have talked a little bit about my actual blog page on WordPress. It's called Reverie in the Light, and that is a work in progress. There's so much work that needs to be done on it. There are so many different things that I want to do, and I think for the time being, I'm still going to refer to it, but until I can figure out how it's going to fit in within my own thoughts, because eventually I want to collaborate all of them. And so until I figure out how to do that, until I see where the blog is going, I'm going to be using YouTube mainly, and also I'm thinking of creating an Instagram page. And if I do create one, I will definitely let everyone know. And I just think that doing an Instagram page will help with expressing things not just through video, but also through writing and things like that. So it's so exciting for me. I'm so excited to just be continuing to do this, and now it's a little bit more concrete than before. And so this video is supposed to be basically on education perspective from someone who's a foreigner, someone who came from another country. Kind of continuing that series of what it's like coming from another country, specifically from the Middle East, from Iraq, and my view on education, but also how I saw education in the U.S. versus how it was in my country. And so this idea was actually brought by a good friend of mine. Her name is Shannon Thomas, and she actually has her own Instagram page called The Writing Sheep, and she basically does a lot of calligraphy, a lot of beautiful writing, and I am definitely telling you guys to go check it out because her writing is just beautiful, and she's done a few wedding invitations. She's great at designing, and I think that is a very, she's a woman of many talents in that area, and so I definitely recommend that you guys go check out her page on Instagram. I will include the link to her page at the bottom of this video, and I am excited to be doing this. And so her question was actually, we were talking about it through a message, and she said, I think it would be cool if you did a video on moving to the US. The view of the country from an Iraqi perspective. And so that is a very, very good question. However, it is also a broad question. It's a very good and deep question, but such a broad question. Especially it's too big of a topic to cover in just one video. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to split these topical videos into different videos. So basically I created kind of the general one a few weeks ago on coming from another country, and then now I'm getting a little bit more into specifics. And this topic covers so many different areas. It covers education, religion, culture, and even it can go down from those broad topics to the more minimal one, like food and how it is here versus there, what is provided for us here versus there, dressing, and simply just walking out on the street. And so it's a different culture in all different ways. And so that's why I don't think I'd be able to cover all of that in one video. So be on the lookout for the upcoming ones also. But for the time being, this video is going to be on my perspective on education from coming from Iraq. And I can't sit here and vouch and say that every person that came from the Middle East will agree with me on this. I can't vouch here and say they've had the same experience I've had, because everyone does have a different experience. And so even though I am speaking as an Arab about this topic, I can't promise you that other Arabs will agree with me on this. And so basically what I really wanted to hit on is more so education and how it's viewed from regarding college, because public school here and there has differences, but it's not as challenging as college. And so when we came to America, I was about 11 years old, and I know that in Iraq, not everyone goes to college, and I think that's probably for the majority of the Middle East. Not everyone goes to college, and it's not because of gender. It's not because of it's not because of financial issues. Really, it's simply comes down to this: when after you finish high school, there's a college entrance examination. It's a lot more difficult from taking the SATs and the ACTs. It's very, very difficult, and it determines basically whether you're going to go to college and what field you are allowed to study in. So if you don't score high enough on the exam, and sometimes you can still go to college, but you can't go on fields like wanting to become a doctor or wanting to become an engineer. It's ranked based on that, based on how much you score and how what the average is. And so basically your career is determined through an examination. Now that's how I know it, at least that's how they did it in my country. Things definitely have changed since the war, and so it could have changed a little bit in that area, but in the education, I don't think it has very much. And so that's one of the biggest differences, is that after you do all of that hard work from K through 12, once you get to that level where, okay, you might be able to go to college, it's not based on, there's no such thing as like a community school. You can go through technical school if you want to. You can do something a little bit more technical, hands-on, mechanical. But at the end of the day, when it comes to going to a university, it's going to be based on how you scored on your examination. It's not like that here. Here, it's you basically get to choose what school you want to go to. Now, you might not be able to get into a big university because of your GPA and your SAT and ACT scores, but you can still go to community college if you want to. And I think for now, that's what I really want to focus on, is the ideology of education in America versus education in the Middle East. And so in the Middle East growing up, education was viewed as a privilege. It wasn't viewed as, oh, it's my right to get educated. It's my right to be in school. It was viewed as a privilege. It was viewed as, oh, if I have the privilege to go to school and learn, great. if I score high enough on this examination and go to college and, establish a career, great. It's viewed as a privilege. And that's one of the reasons why not everyone went to college. People did choose to do different things with their lives. There's a lot more individuality and creativity over there than you think. I know in America we don't really view it that way. But the reality is Arabs are very creative, just like the rest of human beings. And there has been different career fields that people go to now. Some might not be as popular as others because of society, of reputation, of standards. But at the same time, there is creativity. The view here, though, is that everyone should go to college. I mean, me going in high school here in America, the mentality was that everyone should go to college. Everyone should go to college. There was not room for anything else. It was like, okay, what are you going to do with your life? Are you going to go to college or are you going to be a bum? And even though I think a lot of students had the potential of doing something else, like working. I know a girl, she used to she didn't go to university, but I mean, she could have now, but at the time I don't remember her going to university. And she was working, I think, at Abercrombie, and she was working there throughout her whole entire 4 years of high school. And then once she was about to graduate, she was devastated over the fact that, like, oh wait, I don't think I have a high enough grades. I don't think, I did well enough to go to college. And so she had to go to community college. But now, I mean, I see some of her posts on Instagram, and she's like manager of Abercrombie or whatever. And so even though she didn't have that academic mentality, she still made a great life based off of her technical skill and her idea for business and management. And I haven't talked to her in a long time, but what I've been seeing lately has just been great. And so that just goes to show you that, like, really, I mean, I personally think that not everyone needs to go to college. I think that everyone should probably have like some form of a goal or a plan or something to look forward to. But society puts so much pressure on forming people into them thinking, oh, I have to go to college. Oh, and also, when it comes to college in of itself, students are constantly complaining about how, oh, people should not be expecting me to pay my way through college. People should give me that money. The government should give me the money. The government should fund my education. It's all these should, this mentality that the world owes you something, that the government owes you something, and it really doesn't. And so over there, it's viewed, in Iraq especially, it's viewed as a privilege to be able to do something like that. It's viewed as, oh, if I get the opportunity to do this, I will do it. Now, I will come back for a second and say that American education system is different, not just in Iraq, it's also different all across the world, because Europe doesn't do the same things we do when it comes to education and funding college and things like that. And so I understand that. And I also understand that in the Arab countries, at least, you earn your education. In the sense of, you score high enough to go to a certain college, you will, yeah, they'll get paid for you. You don't have to worry about paying for your education. And so, but then over here, pretty much anyone can go, but they have to be able to pay for it or get a scholarship or figure out a way to do that. And so you have these two different pros and cons towards that. And so now there is one that not many people are aware of, and it's just that you can't just major in anything you want, like how you do here. Here, I can major in anything I want. I can go to school for anything I want. Over there, you can't do that. You can't just major in anything you want. If you pass a certain examination at a certain level, then you can go. But even then, you have a few options. They don't give you this whole variety of options. And so it is different. I see pros and cons to both. I think that my values and my views on education did change a lot after I became a believer. That has a lot to do with how I view education now. But it's definitely very interesting growing up from the lenses of someone who's used to having earned education versus just having it be available for you. So I hope you guys like this video. I know that it went a little bit long. It's a big topic and it's a great topic. I'm excited to make the upcoming videos on this topic. I did post on Instagram that if you guys have any ideas, anything that you'd like me to specifically talk about, please let me know. I have a whole range of ideas and things and videos I want to make, and so I'd love to add that to the list. I just want you guys to know that even though I am kind of right now sticking with the foreigner kind of perspective, making videos on that, that's not going to be all that I do. Just something that's happening right now that people seem to want to hear about that I'm doing the video on. Be looking forward to that Instagram page. I think that it will probably be very good for me to post videos, but also be able to share some of my prose and poetry and stories and things like that. So I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!